you, Lord, for your presence here this morning. I am so grateful to spend these first moments of the day with you. Lord, I come here to receive your love so that my day flows from these moments with you, so that everyone I encounter receives you as I am receiving you. So this morning we'll take our passage. When Jesus appeared on the road to Emmaus, chapter 24 of Luke, beginning with verse 13. Now that very day, two of them were going to a village 7 miles from Jerusalem called Emmaus, and they were conversing about all the things that had occurred. And it happened that while they were conversing and debating, Jesus himself drew near and walked with them. But their eyes were prevented from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing as you walk along?" They stopped, looking downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, said to him in reply, "Are you the only visitor to Jerusalem who does not know of the things that have taken place there in these days?" And he replied to them, "What sort of things?" They said to him, "The things that happened to Jesus the Nazarene, who was a prophet, mighty in deed and word before God and all the people. How our chief priests and rulers both handed him over to a sentence of death and crucified him. But we were hoping that he would be the one to redeem Israel. And besides all of this, it is now the 3rd day since this took place. Some women from our group, however, have astounded us. They were at the tomb early in the morning and did not find his body. They came back and reported that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who announced that he was alive. Then some of those with us went to the tomb and found things just as the women had described, but him they did not see." And he said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are, how slow of heart to believe all that the prophets spoke. Was it not necessary that the Messiah should suffer these things and enter into his glory?" Then, beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them what referred to him in all the scriptures. As they approached the village to which they were going, he gave the impression that he was going on further. But they urged him, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening and the day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. And it happened that while he was with them at table, he took bread. He said the blessing. He broke it, and he gave it to them. With that, their eyes were opened, and they recognized him. But he vanished from their sight. Then they said to each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he spoke to us on the way and opened the scriptures to us?" So they set out at once and returned to Jerusalem, where they found gathered together the 11 and those with them, who were saying, "The Lord has truly risen and has appeared to Simon." Then the two recounted what had taken place on the way and how he was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. Dear Father, I believe that you created the universe to show me your love, your majesty, so that I may be able to receive in all this majesty of your love for me. When I contemplate the sky, the sea, the mountains, the birds that fly, the trees, every leaf on the tree, every blade of grass, every person, every hair on every person's head, all of these you've given me to see your presence and work for. I'm so amazed and grateful turn to you now with a hope. Despite the darkness and fear that surrounds me, it so often seems so immense that it appears sometimes you've left. But you are the light that has come into the world, and you never abandon us. You have never abandoned me. So this morning, Lord, open my eyes to any resistance to the way that you're working in my life. Help me remember that your ways are not my ways. I love you, sweet Jesus. I love you, but I'm small. Teach me to love you as you love me. I would like to be a messenger of love for you, just as you're a messenger of love from the Father. Lord, bring me close to your precious heart so that I can be filled with this immense love today. So filled that I cannot help but share your love. So I've seen depictions of this road to Emmaus with a man and a woman. And some commentaries say that the reason the gospel only mentions Cleopas is because he was walking with his wife. And that was the other disciple. So Lord, I can just imagine myself walking with my husband and discussing all the things that are going on in the world today. The virus, the country, our church, our family, our friends. Lord, you know all of it. And like these disciples who are walking away from Jerusalem, we sometimes want to walk away from all of these difficulties as well. Maybe then we can put all of our worries to rest. Because of this, Lord, sometimes I can walk the wrong way. I can walk away from you. But just like you did with these disciples, you come and you draw near. You never leave me. And so I ask you so often, just like they did, stay with me, Lord. Stay with me. They had just experienced the most horrific thing they could imagine. They thought the Messiah was with them, and he had been put to death so brutally. Lord, how often are my hopes just dashed? How often do I walk away from you or react in fear? Fear doesn't lead me towards you, Lord, and that's my deepest desire, to come closer. The astounding thing is that you don't. You stay by my side to accompany me in everything. You walked with these disciples, and you do this with me, regardless of whether I've taken a wrong turn or allowed my hope to be dashed by the world. If the enemy has tempted me to look at the fear and the darkness instead of at your face, you remain gazing at me through all of it, patiently waiting, patiently listening. So many times when I turn towards you just an inch, you show me how foolish I've been, how easy has been to fall into desolation with what is happening in our world. Such division, such evil and darkness all around, it seems. Just as when you were put to death, just as when these disciples walked the earth. But you remain. You're the answer to every question. And my question is, what is drawing me closer to you? You are my hope. You are the light who has come into the world. Stay with me, Lord. Teach me how to accompany those I love. Teach me how to accompany everyone, especially those, as Mother Teresa used to say, who are in their most distressing disguises, often those in my own home, or who work beside me, or who walk with me. I seem to lose my patience so quickly. Let me learn from you, Lord, who continue to listen to me. I just love it that you tell these disciples how foolish they've been. And I'm so grateful, Lord, for all the times that you tell me how foolish I am. You seem to just show me in your gentle way how I can look and judge some situation or someone internally, and then you show me gently how wrong I was, reminding me that I need only to look to you and trust in you, to surrender to you my preferences, my comfort, my wounds, my time, my control. You're the Lord of it all. You're the answer to all my questions. So these disciples urged you to stay with them, and I implore you to do that with me today, Lord. Not just today, not just this moment, but all through the day and every day. And what is your answer to me, Lord? Your answer is your most precious gift, right here before me. You bless through the priest. You pray, and you give it to me, to everyone who desires it, your own precious body and blood. Help me, Lord, always to turn to you in the Eucharist and recognize you in the breaking of the bread, just as these disciples did. When I receive you, Lord, that's where I can find my hope, my comfort, my peace. The disciples found their redemption in their encounter with you, and mine is in my encounter with you in the Eucharist as well. They experienced burning in their hearts. Lord, give me that burning. Let it grow deeper. Their purpose was renewed. I ask you, Lord, today to give me a newfound zeal so that I can continue that race that I have back to you. And not only that, so that I can continue to share you with everyone I encounter, so that everyone I encounter sees you, Lord. I thank you again, Lord, for being here with me today. And now we can just take some moments in silence to be here present with our Lord and see what he has to speak to our hearts.